Blackstone Audio presents The Lost Bank, the story of Washington Mutual, the biggest bank failure in American history, by Kirsten Grind. This book is read by Traber Burns. 4. Steve Grind. Prologue. Out of Time. Always an early riser, Steve Rotella arrived at WAMU just before 7 a.m. on September 25, 2008. The autumn morning was cool and dark. The president and chief operating officer of the country's largest savings and loan bank was almost always among the first executives to show up each day. Rotella lived with his wife Esther in a 7,200-square-foot house abutting a large cemetery in the upscale, trendy Seattle neighborhood of Capitol Hill. Each day, Rotella climbed into his BMW and made the short trip downtown, easily navigating the now familiar back roads to the office. He avoided Capitol Hill's Main Street, where a Starbucks glowed among the closed facades of dozens of bars and boutiques, and young hipsters in skinny jeans lined up in front of a popular sidewalk coffee stand. Even at this time of the morning, there would likely be traffic in that direction, although not nearly the kind of traffic he was used to in New York. Instead, Rotella drove directly downhill along a street crammed with parked cars, condominiums, and apartment buildings on either side. To the west, he could see the jagged peaks of the Olympic Mountains. As he paralleled the freeway, a large REI store loomed in front of him. When Rotella moved to the city 3 years earlier, he had promptly bought several $1,000s worth of outdoor gear at REI. He had been hiking just once. He pulled his car into one of the executive parking spots underneath WAMU's new skyscraper. The bank had built the multi-million-dollar office space 2 years earlier and shared part of it with the Seattle Art Museum. Rotella walked onto the executive floor and poured himself a cup of coffee. He usually avoided the giant Starbucks in the bank's lobby, believing it was overpriced. Sometimes, however, his assistant offered to run out and fetch him a latte. By this time, the team of WAMU employees tracking the bank's deposits had already prepared the morning report. Because of the time difference, it reflected branch activity on the East Coast. Earlier in the week, the team had delivered a glimmer of good news. WAMU customers across the country had stopped pulling their money out of the bank at such a rapid pace. Daily deposit outflows now hovered around $500 million, down from the peak of $2.8 billion on one frantic day during the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?